Hey guys, welcome back to my front porch. Hopefully you watched the last video. What we're doing in this series, guys, we're just walking through Jesus's life as he was headed towards the cross, as he was headed towards Easter. So Sunday is Easter, and as we look forward to that, guys, what I'm hoping that you're doing with me as you're joining me as we read through the days leading up to Easter and what Jesus has to say in each day. Today, we're going to be looking at John chapter 15. He says some interesting things here, Jesus says. This is kind of like Jesus's last little bit he's giving to the disciples before he goes to the cross. So in John chapter 15, we're going to start in verse 5. It says, "Yes, I'm the vine, you are the branches. Those who remain in me and I in them will produce much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing. Anyone who does not remain in me is thrown away like a useless branch and withers. Such branches are gathered into a pile to be burned. But if you remain in me and my words remain in you, you may ask for anything you want, and it will be granted. When you produce much fruit, you are my true disciples. This brings great glory to my Father." One of the things that should do is that should bring us immense relief and joy, because again, like we talked about yesterday, Jesus requires one thing from us, is that we cling to him. And so when he explains this to the disciples, as he's looking, he knows he's going to die. He knows he's headed towards the cross. His disciples were wrestling with that. They didn't quite understand that. And if you keep reading chapter 15, you see that actually that conversation happens. And even into chapter 16, Peter actually says, I don't understand what you're saying. But what Jesus was reminding them is that there's going to be a lot of hard times that come about. There's going to be a lot of questions. There's going to be a lot of things that we don't fully understand. And that's okay. We don't have to understand that. That's what Jesus was saying. We don't have to fully understand everything. All we have to do is cling to him. Just as a branch does to a tree, it hangs on so that it can produce fruit. I don't know about you guys if you haven't ever seen an actual fruit tree, but it doesn't actually produce fruit except for on the branches. And if the branches aren't attached, it can't produce fruit. So what does that mean for us? What is Jesus saying here? What it means is that we don't have to do everything perfectly. We don't have to do everything the right way. We don't have to do everything exactly the way the rules are saying it. Nor do we have to understand why we're doing what we're doing. Nor do we have to understand why we have to do some things that we have to do. All that Jesus wants us to do is cling to him, hang on to him, follow what he has to say. Even if we don't fully understand it, he says, cling to me, just as a vine, just as the branches do to the vine. Then we will produce fruit. Now what that means is that our life, our actions, our attitudes, our thoughts will start to reflect and be more like Jesus. If you're asking yourself and you're looking at your life and you go, man, my life really isn't like Jesus, maybe it's because you need to cling to him a little tighter. Maybe there's some things in your life that you need to stop doing yourself and cling to Jesus. Guys, I gave a challenge out last video, that I wanted you to hide your phone and just randomly ask your parents or ask somebody in your house if you could help them and record the reaction. Guys, keep doing that. Keep sending me those videos and those replies. That way we can get a really cool and really interesting video together so that we can see some of the shocked and surprised faces that they have. Guys, I'm praying for you this week. Again, hopefully you're looking towards Easter just as much as I am. Thank you. See you guys later.